Okay, your little activity or project is to create a climate flipbook. Now, as you can see in the construction page, you're going to create a six-sided flipbook. If you take your paper, if you have your 8 by 11 A4 paper, you're going to take that and you're going to fold it to where you fold the two sides. You create two doors. So that middle section should be larger than each of the doors, as you can see in the layout. If you need any help, I can actually help you with that, but it's pretty easy. Now, if you want to do something other than this format, that's fine. If you want to create it where it folds in a different way, that's fine. But the focus here is you should have a total of 6 parts. Okay, in this flip book, you have page 1, and then you have, if you open it up, on the opposite of that page 1 will be page 2, then you have page 3, then you have page 4, and then you have page 5. Now the back page, okay, or the back part of that is page 6, and page 6 will be where your name goes and your full heading. So I'm flexible as long as you have your 6 pages and you can put your different climates on those pages. Now, if you scroll down to content, the content portion of this focuses on those 5 pages, okay, or 6 pages. So for those 5 pages, you're going to have page 1 is going to focus on the tropical climate. You're going to give a summary. Now, it doesn't have to be a paragraph, but basically it's describing the tropical. You can talk about temperature, you can talk about precipitation, you can talk about anything that would summarize the characteristics of this climate. Then you need to also include the subclimates. So if it does have a subclimate, you need to include that. So in this case, we have tropical wet and dry. Now, the focus of those two, you need to not just write down tropical wet, you need to write down tropical wet and then a description. Tropical wet dry, and write a description. Okay? Then underneath that, I want you to give me at least 2 to 3 locations for each subclimate. So, how many locations should we have? A total of 4 to 6 for tropical. Why 4 to 6? Because you are giving 2 to 3 for each subclimate. So 2 to 3 for tropical wet, 2 to 3 for tropical wet dry. Then you move to page 2. Remember, page 2 is on the inside. It's on the other side of page 1. That's going to focus on your dry climate. So you're going to give a summary. You're going to describe the subclimates. You're going to write the names and then give a description for each subclimate, and then you're going to give a total of 4 to 6 locations, 2 to 3 for each subclimate. Then for page 3 is that middle area, which is a larger portion. This is going to be the temperate warm. The reason why it has a larger portion is because you have a total of 3 subclimates. Now, on the 3 subclimates, remember, for this page, you're giving at least 1 location for each subclimate. You can give more than 1, but you can give 1 since that is what I gave you in your notes. Then page 4 will be on that other side of the little door. That's going to be on the inside door. For page 4, that's going to be your subpolar. That's going to be your temperate cold. You're going to give a description. That's basically where we live, and then you're going to give 2 to 3 locations from your notes. Then page 5, which will be that outer door, you're going to write polar, you're going to give a summary, and then your 2 subclimates, and then 2 to 3 locations for each subclimate, so that would be 4 to 6 locations. Then on the back page, you're going to write the title, your full heading. Okay, please title this climate zones. And then I want you to also include, and don't forget this, okay, this is something that some people may miss. I want you to give the last climate zone, okay, which generally isn't a horizontal zone, but it's more of a location, a place that will have a different climate, and that could be highlands. Now remember, highlands could be located in a tropical area, it could be located in a desert area, and it could have polar conditions. So the focus here is on page 6, you're including the highlands, the mountains, and you're going to give a description and 2 to 3 locations. So at least for description, at least write down what highlands is. It's mountains. Now, what I described for pages 1 through 6, make sure you leave some room, because guess what? Under creativity, you have to include a couple things. So for each of these pages, for each of those climate zones, you must do at least one of these 3 choices. So you must do at least one of these 3 choices. Now, each of these choices could change or be modified depending on the climate topic. So what do I mean by that? Let's look at option A. You can draw and color a country or region that would be a great example of that climate zone. So let's say for tropical, you go ahead and you color in, you draw the country. Well, when you go to polar, let's say you don't want to do that, but you have to include at least one of these 3. So you could actually draw and color 2 plants or animals for maybe the polar. Maybe you want to draw a polar bear and a seal. Okay, you can put that in. So you don't have to do plants and animals for every single climate, but you must have, for each climate, you must have at least one of these. Now, if you want to do that for all of them, that's fine. And then the third option is creating a graph or chart with color code keys. Now, which graph would make the most sense? Your climograph. If you include a climograph for every single one, that is going to be very beneficial and helpful to you as you're going to see climographs on your assessment. Okay, so if you do the climographs, that's going to be very beneficial. Now let me go back to A. It's the focus on the country, the region. You need to draw it to where it's clearly identifiable. When you go to draw or color at least 2 plants or animals, it can't be a general flower for every single one. You have to, now this is very important, you have to write the specific name of the flower or plant or specific name of the animal, okay, next to it. And you just can't say flower, you can't just say tree. Okay, I'm not going to give you credit for that. Okay, so you have to, if you're going to choose that, you have to write a specific name down for each one. So if you have any questions, please let me know. You're going to start on this on Friday's satellite day, and you have Monday and Tuesday to work on